This video tutorial will show you how to use the Custom Data Import feature in Dave's Redistricting app, or DRA. DRA already allows users to import maps of districts or other areas as shapefiles or block assignment files. You can also import landmarks or other points of interest as a custom overlay. With the Custom Data feature, you can import shapefiles or block assignment files with data, or separately import tabular data such as election results, turnout, or other demographic data as CSVs. The DRA team has already imported a few custom datasets for you, including income, education, and other data of interest. We'll show you how to import your own custom datasets like the one you see here containing data on voter registration by party. The key to utilizing the custom data feature is to ensure your data is properly formatted before you import it into DRA. This is especially true for data in CSV format, which we'll focus on in this video. Before importing, check to see that the first row of your CSV contains the field names or headers for your data. In addition, check that all subsequent rows contain data and there are no blank rows. Any rows with summary or total data must be deleted, and any columns with totals must be renamed to TOT, short for total, or deleted, as DRA will automatically calculate a total for you. Finally, the first column must include unique 2020 GOIDs for blocks, block groups, tracts, counties, or voting tabulation districts. Voting tabulation districts are sometimes referred to as precincts, as they are in DRA. The dataset you see here contains data on voter registration by party at the census block level. It has one header row, no blank rows, and no total rows or columns. It also has a column containing 15-digit GOID values that uniquely identify each census block, so it is ready for import. This dataset contains voter turnout data at the county level. It is not formatted properly. It has two header rows, but they both contain field names. The second row will be imported as short descriptions, and as you can see here, that is not what this row contains. The dataset also contains a total row. I should delete the second header row and the total row before trying to import this dataset. In addition, it does not have 2020 GOID values. It has the names of the counties. I would need to replace the county names with their 5-digit GOIDs in order to import this dataset successfully. If you are importing election data, you must have 4 columns of information in your CSV. The first column must contain your GOID values, while the second and third columns contain votes for the Republican and Democratic candidates, labeled R and D, respectively. The fourth column must contain vote totals and be labeled TOT, short for total. Note that this total column does not need to add up to the R and D columns. The total column may contain additional votes for third-party candidates not captured in these other fields. Also make sure the data is formatted correctly. All data, including election results and demographic data, should be classified as numeric. GOID values can have leading zeros, so it's important that they are classified as text or strings. A common scenario in which GOIDs can become misclassified is if you open the data in Microsoft Excel before importing it into DRA. If the GOID values are converted to numeric or scientific notation, you will not be able to import the data. Last but not least, make sure you have the legal right to import the data. Proprietary data that you do not have the legal right to share with others should not be imported into the app. To import the data, go to Your Maps and select Import in the top right-hand corner, then select Import Dataset. Upon import, you will need to specify the state and the file you want to import. At this stage, you must also give your dataset a name, a year, and a type. Whether you plan to publish and share the dataset with others or not, it is good practice to give your dataset a clear and revealing name, something that will be easily interpretable later on. For example, voter data is not very revealing, whereas Florida 2022 voter registration by party is. The year should be 4 digits, and the type should either be election for election results or other for everything else. There is also an optional space to leave a more complete description of the data you are importing. Good practice is to include a URL or other information in the description that attributes the source of the data. There are a few other options when importing the data. You can combine 2 or more categories into one, for example, a series of state, county, and tract GeoID codes to create the GeoID values for census tracts in a state, or combining counts of registered Republicans and Democrats to create a category of non-independent voters, like you see here. In addition, you may select Show in Color By, which will color your map by the data you are importing in grayscale. You can edit the colors, including adding your own hex code coloring scheme and fields after the data has been imported. Now you are ready to use your custom data to draw and analyze maps in DRA. Simply go to a map, use the data selector to select your custom data set, and then select it to map for precincts or districts. When selected, the dataset appears in the Custom Color By dropdown, and the data shows in the panels on the right-hand side. If you imported an election dataset, you can also view statistics and analysis with that data. To do this, select it as the primary election dataset, which allows the app to calculate statistics and analysis on that dataset. If you have any questions, contact the DRA team through the app or at feedback@davesredistricting.org. Thanks for watching.